How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Rangers Rundown. The Rangers put together another win last night against the Washington Capitals, a much-needed victory against the Capitals, because as we know, the Rangers started this season against the Caps, losing 5-1, so it was very nice to see the Rangers do the shellacking a little bit, winning 4-1. Chytil was a scratch tonight, and Barron was in the lineup in place of Chytil. And honestly, that third line looked better than it has been, I'll say, in a very long time. Does that have everything to do with Chytil? Has Chytil been playing extremely well this season? No. I know he was injured a little bit, but have we done the Chytil experiment long enough to where he is a trade chip this trade deadline? Would this team be better with Barron as third-line center instead of Chytil? I want to say yes. Barron's only played a couple of games this season, so it's not a huge sample size. But we have a pretty big sample size for Chytil, and I just don't think he's been cutting it. So maybe this is the beginning of the end for Filip Chytil. We'll just have to keep track of it. But the lineup for last night to start the game: Kreider, Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Panarin, Strome, Hunt, McKegg, Barron, Gauthier, Goudreau, Rooney, Reeves, Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Trouba, Jones, Schneider, and Shesterkin was in net. We get into the first period, just over a minute, Zibanejad and Lafreniere have a little deflection try. And then just over 3 minutes, Panarin has a takeaway that leads to a Hunt and Strome tap-in try. So the Rangers buzzing around the Capitals net early in this game. Rooney has a good defensive play to prevent an Ovechkin partial breakaway at the blue line, so good for Rooney. I like Rooney. He's, sometimes forgettable because he's on the fourth line, but I do like Kevin Rooney. Barron with some good pressure against Kuznetsov. Barron had a good forecheck, keeping Kuznetsov in the defensive zone. Barron had a very good game last night. He almost had a couple of goals, too. Ovechkin has an open net from a cross-ice pass, but he can't handle the pass. He probably would have had a goal if he was able to handle the pass. 9 minutes in, the Rangers are 0 for 5 on face-offs, and it didn't get much better from there. 37.3% for the game. So just over a third of the faceoffs were won by the Rangers, but doesn't really matter, at least for this team. This team is a testimonial to faceoffs don't really matter. There we go. Barron and Orlov come together hard in the neutral zone. Schneider almost finds Hunt's stick in the crease, which would have been a nice tap-in goal for Hunt. And then at 12:57, Zibanejad with a 100-mile-per-hour slap shot opens the scoring for the Rangers and the game, his 20th goal of the season, the 7th time he's reached that peak, the 5th time in a row. So this is his 5th 20-goal season in a row, 7th in his career. It was a very nice drop pass from Lafreniere. Lafreniere needs to stay on the top line. And I said this in my last video. I'm going to keep saying it. Lafreniere needs to stay on the top line. That's where he's going to get the most development. That's where his skill set is going to shine the most. Now, he is a left wing, but he's not going to play top 6 minutes as a left wing, so he needs to learn how to play right wing and just figure it out. And he's a young kid. He'll figure it out. He has been figuring out. 3 out of the 4 goals last night were from the top line. We need that top line to be buzzing, and with Lafreniere on it, it is most certainly. Gauthier had a feed to Barron in the slot, which would have been an incredible first goal of the season for Barron. Gauthier later makes his patented move to the net. Fox almost has that rebound. It just goes right wide of the post. It would have been a goal if it had just been in a couple inches. First line with some late pressure in the period, and then Strome takes a tripping penalty right near the buzzer, so at 20 minutes. Shots 11-7 in favor of Washington, and they get to start the second period on a 2-minute power play, a fresh top power play. Odd man shorthanded rush for the Rangers was broken up, and then at 1:07, Ovechkin takes a hooking penalty, so the Caps power play is cut short. We get 54 seconds of 4-on-4, and the Rangers owned the puck the entire time during that 4-on-4. A couple of chances. Shesterkin with a good save right in front, and then a Barron chance right after. So Barron with at least 2 quality chances last night for goals. And that's what we want from our third line. Keep sniffing around the net, provide some offense, and that's exactly what they did, even with McKegg on the line. Shesterkin stops a Hathaway breakaway, and then the fourth line has a very good shift against the Washington first line. I think once the Rangers make a trade or a trade deadline acquisition, maybe Barron stays in the lineup, so Kakko's healthy again. What do we got? Kreider, Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Panarin, Strome, Kakko. Trade deadline acquisition, Barron, Gauthier, Gaudreau, Rooney, Reeves. Like, that is a really good 4 lines that these Rangers can cycle going down the stretch to the playoffs. I'm very excited, as long as they don't screw up the trade deadline. I think they need to get a middle 6 forward. That's what I think they should be prioritizing. For some reason, they're prioritizing a veteran defenseman. I think the forwards need more help than the defensemen at this point, but who am I? Shesterkin's stick breaks on a save, so he doesn't go to get it. I don't know if he knew it was broken or not, but it goes out pretty far away from him, so he covers the puck and he stops it. His stick was indeed broken. Shortly after that, Miller breaks up a 2-on-1, a very good sliding play from Miller. 14:59, Kreider takes a high sticking penalty, but during that penalty kill, Zibanejad and McKegg have a little 2-on-1. Zibanejad's shot goes wide. 18:48, Lafreniere scores his 11th goal of the season. It was a Lindgren point shot. Lafreniere got his stick in front of it, able to deflect it over the shoulder of the goalie. And then, for the first time I've ever seen this happen, Strome, the same player, takes the same exact penalty at the same exact time 2 periods in a row. So again, at 20 minutes of the second period, Strome takes a tripping penalty. So the Capitals go into the third period with a complete 2-minute power play to start the period. Shots 9-9 at the end of that second period. We go into the third. Caps have the power play. Kuznetsov has a wide open net, but he fans on it. Then at 3:33, Faravari takes a holding penalty and just a horrible power play for the Rangers. Probably has something to do with the Capitals' penalty kill just being very, very good. But at 6:57, Kreider would score his 34th goal of the season, snapping a 3-game goalless drought. Very hard-working shift from the first line. It was a Kreider deflection. He got his own rebound, had an open net because the goalie was out of position. Oshie lays a hit on Jones, and that sparks a little bit of commotion. These teams already don't like each other, but that just kind of made tensions bubble up for the rest of the period. Barron hits Eller by the benches in response to that Oshie hit. And then 11 minutes in, Shesterkin makes a great save on an Ovechkin breakaway. 11:09, Gaudreau scores a goal. The only goal from the Rangers, not from the first line. Gaudreau, also his 11th goal of the season. So Gaudreau and Lafreniere at the same goal pace. It was a 2-on-1 with Rooney. And that only happens because Reeves hits Ovechkin and makes him lose the puck. So good job, Reeves. 6 minutes left. The first line, very strong shift. They're not done. They're still buzzing around the net. 15:15, Gauthier takes a very unnecessary holding penalty. It was a little embellishy from the Washington player, but it was holding. Capitals pull the goalie with just over 4 minutes left, so they get that 6-on-4 power play. But towards the end of the power play, they put the goalie back in the net. 17:34, Lindgren and Sheary fight, but the refs break it up really fast. It's not a full fight. You know, they get some tussling, they throw some punches in, but the refs, you know, collapse in on them pretty early. And then with just over a minute left in the game, we can't have everything we want. Ovechkin scores a goal, 18:58. It was just a dinky little tip-in, but it breaks Shesterkin's shutout. We get to the end of the game, shot 17-5 in favor of the Capitals at the end of that third period. So Rangers getting very badly outshot in the third period, but they had 2 goals on only 5 shots. So they were shooting at 40% in the third period. That's not bad at all. We'll take that any way we can. There was no trivia question last night because the game was on ESPN and not MSG. The game tomorrow against the Penguins is also not on MSG. It's on ABC or ESPN+. So again, probably no trivia question tomorrow, but that's okay. That's not why you watch these videos. Stats at the end of the game, shots 21-37 in favor of Washington. So the Rangers score 4 goals on only 21 shots. So they were shooting at just under 20% for the game, which is great, but you hope they can at least crack 30 shots a game. Like, come on now. Faceoffs, 37.3%, not great. Power play, 0 for 2, also not great. Hits 24-17 in favor of the Rangers. Blocks, 10 apiece. So, Rangers scoot back into second place in this very hotly contested Metropolitan Division. They play the Pittsburgh Penguins tomorrow, and whoever wins that game will move into second place. So if the Rangers win, they solidify their place in second. If the Penguins win, they'll do another switcheroo. But that's it, game 51. It's a win. So these next 10 games, they start with a win. We'll see if they can put together some more. I think they're, 4-0-1 in their last 5 games, something like that. The Rangers haven't lost in regulation in quite a long stretch now. We'll see if they can put together a little stretch here. We'll see if Chytil stays out of the lineup, if Barron impressed Gallant enough to stay in. And we'll see which one of these upcoming games they let Georgiev play. But we'll see. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.